Here we are. Okay, let's try that again. So we've got this guy who is he's looking after very, very expensive jewelry for his friend. It's worth 500,000 in today's money. Amalei, and the owner said to the shomer, the guardian, Havli kipping, give me my nose rings back. Amalei, so the shomer said to him, a phrase that comes right out of my heart. Lo yodana hecha isvinhu. Can't remember where I put them. Ah, darn! I put them. You know what it's like. Nose rings here, jewelry there. I can't keep track of it all. I can't manage. So he's lost them. The idiot. So now the owner is aggrieved, and he wants recompense at least. Also, so now at the beginning of the second wide line. Also, Nakamed Rav Nachman, he came before Rav Nachman. Amalei, he said to him, Kol la yodana shiusahi. If anybody, whenever somebody says, I don't know, that's negligence. What do you mean you don't know? As the guard of these things, you're meant to know. It's the most simple thing to know where you put them. For goodness sake. And these are very valuable jewels. 500,000. You can't just forget where you put them. So that's negligence. You are liable, says Rav Nachman. You are chayav. That's what the Rav Nachman said to the shomer, the guard. You must recompense the owner for these jewels because you don't know where you put them, and he wants his money back. And if you can't produce them, you got to pay.
Does he trust it?
Does who trust who?
Does the borrower trust the lender?
That's a good question. So Rav Huna would say you had to make a shavua. But that's not the pointed issue here. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Don't know. Maybe Rav Nachman didn't hold it Rav Huna. It's an interesting question. I won't trust him again, that's for sure. The idiot.
But how many people would want to take that responsibility? But I think
the guy's an idiot. He's a prize for. Yeah, but this is what happens. Stuff happens, He just lost it.
I think the wrong whistle.
It's the dog and duck, they contaminated the supplies. Okay. So, Zil Shlim, the end of the second line, go and pay. We're not done yet. Lo Shilling, he didn't pay. So the show just didn't. Also Rav Nachman went, Agve la'afad ne'minei. He distrained his mansion. So he said, get out of your home, your beautiful palace. Apparently it's not a house, it's a palace. And get out of your mansion. Then we're talking, Bishop's Avenue style. Really, get out of your house. We're going to sell it, and you'll use the proceeds to pay back this guy. Because this is on you. You were an idiot. L'saif ishtakach kipi. A while later, the nose rings turned up. Oh, I left them in my pillowcase all this time. So there he is. He shelled out his palace. He's given it away he sold it away to giving the money to the owner, and now he's left holding the nose rings. And there's one more twist to this. The nose rings had gone up in value. They're now worth 1 million. So this guard is such an idiot, he's made 500,000. And it wasn't by design. It's just the way it was. So the question is, who holds on to the nose rings? Because the guard will say, well, now I've paid you back. I found them.
Yeah, you got the value they were.
Yes, so it's my gain. I've now got. I gave you a house worth 500,000. Now these jewels are worth 1 million. Well, it's quids in. Thank you. I pay my CGT, and I'm done.
He's found them.
Yeah, they're in his pillowcase.
After he paid the value,
Yeah.
I found
He
them.
forgot,
Right.
and he was doing the washing. Oh right, what's that tinkly thing? Yeah, my wife had this. There's a 5p piece in my trousers. But I should be so lucky. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
It was happy hour.
Yeah, but what was that in your trousers? You were waiting for a turn on.
Very good. The 5p turned up.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. The Dalton British approach. Okay, so
Surely this would depend also on how the mansion was handed over. Was it just thrown out? Was it a proper legal document?
probably the whole thing is probably
And
done.
if it's a
Yeah.
proper legal document, therefore, it's quid pro quo. So it just happened that those rings or earrings are called goes up in
Oh,
value.
earrings, because earrings.
Yes.
I can call it earrings. That's fine.
But why did we say we're dealing with idiots? Why?
Because we are. Because people are idiots. People, this happened. It's not a made up thing. This actually
I
happened.
know, but why do we sue the deals with idiots?
Well, because they were. The guy should not have lost these fabulously expensive.
But should have the guy left such an expensive thing with
Well,
that?
he thought he was a reasonable guy. He didn't know he was going to do this stupid thing. Maybe he had a good reputation till now, but reputation changed.
But if that guy said, "Do you know what? I don't remember where I left it."
Yeah. Well, I said, well, either you give me them or you give me the money. Can't remember is not good enough. I need
Maybe
that.
he didn't realise he's suffering with dementia.
Well, be that as it may, he wants his money and he's entitled to it.
And the basting will say,
Pay up, yeah, because
He's given him the house.
yeah,
Given him the house,
Right.
and the diamonds have gone up, the earrings have gone up in price. I think that actually he's got to swap it back
it's a good question.
because that's what the deal was initially. He's now come back to something and found it, and therefore that was what the initial deal was. That's what everyone agreed on, and that should have been the deal. So
Was the mansion actually put up as security? It doesn't mention that either. Well, there's
But he just remember, there's no loan here. This is just he was looking after the
Yeah,
earrings, and now the earrings were lost, so he had to sell his home to
I come back to what I said. If there's a proper star, proper document
Yeah.
selling, it's a
yeah
conveyance,
yeah
that's it.
yeah.
So it took luck on the fellow who had the earrings. The new fellow should keep them.
Okay, I hear. Let's have a look.
he's homeless.
But he's got some nice earrings to wear while he's lying down in his bus shelter, hasn't he? Yeah.
Unless he wants them.
well, people who've invested like bonds and things, today it's worth so much, tomorrow it can be worth
Either
3
way.
times the amount.
Yeah, or the other way. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you lose and you gain.
Yeah.
But if it so happens in this situation that the next day these are worth now 500,000 more,
Yeah.
then if that guy paid up what he originally had to pay, it should be his.
Okay, I hear. Let's now, Colin and I got this far just before you came. Let's cast our minds back to the very start of this chapter, where we're talking about 100 years ago, talking about somebody who says, I'd rather pay than make an oath. Remember when he's looking after sheep gone missing, he says, well, I could make an oath and get off, but I'd rather pay the money because I don't like making oaths. I'm a from guy. And as a gesture of goodwill, the owner says, right, if it turns out that it was stolen and the thief's going to pay double, you get the double because you didn't cause me a hard time. So maybe here also, the guard, because the guard can argue, I'm saying that because I gave you the value of my home and to make good this thing, now the earrings are mine because in retrospect, it's like I bought them from you. So we didn't know it at the time, but actually what was happening was you were selling me the earrings for my house. So the profit that's happened since then, says the guard, is mine. Because it's like I bought it. We didn't know at the time, I thought it just looked out.
To me, it's a brainer.
Open and shut case. We can
Simple.
all,
Simply not.
all this is totally wrong, by the way. So you're right. But we need to find out why this is all wrong. So let's see. We're gonna dig and delve.
Is it wrong because it wasn't transactional? So it was. I'm going to look after this for you. It wasn't a transactional deal. So in the contract, he said, "Well, you've lost them, so now you need to give me something." I found them,
Yeah.
and therefore, you found them. Let's go back. So you can have your house, you have your diamonds. The value of them isn't actually what it's about. They belong to him. So,
I could argue with you if I was feeling bloody minded. Which I'm not, God forbid. I could say that nor was the case of the lost sheep transactional. But nonetheless, we sort of reconstruct it in retrospect as a transaction. And we say, once the sheep's gone missing, we will deem that to have been a transaction such that the owner gets the value of the sheep and the guard gets the actual sheep, such that if it turns out it's stolen and the thief wants to pay double, he pays it to what has become the new owner, which is the guard. he stepped into the shoes of the owner in retrospect. So I could say the same thing here.
No, you're right.
The fact that it wasn't done in transaction doesn't actually bother me because it's all implied in the snug in the duck and duck. That's we learn out. We sort of reverse engineer into their heads that this is what they would have wanted, and had you asked them at the time, that's what they would have said. So I can go with that.
We have to go and have a cheer up. But we can get into the spirit.
I could go and get paid from the Royal Albert Hall.
With the free show, what happened? So that's it.
This is a multi-layer marketing thing. I'm sorry, it's all a scam. The whole thing is okay. I have product placement. I should have a warning at the start. Okay. So now we're now three wide lines down the very end of the line. So here's the situation. The rings have gone up in value. They're now worth $1 million. And obviously the owner bustles into court in high dudgeon and says, those are my earrings. I want them back. And the guard says, what do you mean? I paid you my mansion, and that means they're now mine. So I gave you £500,000 worth of mansion because you wanted $500,000. Now they're worth $1 million. That's not my fault. It doesn't have any quid inside. Now I've got 2 mansions. I'll sell them off. I've one here, one next door. Brilliant.
Then the question would be asked the other way. What if the earrings dropped in value?
You're right. Yeah, well, that wasn't what actually happened. We could just want to ask that question. Yeah. I think we'd say to the guard, it's your tough luck, because the guard is Shlemiel. He should not have done that. He should not have forgotten where they were. I look at him in a dim light. I must go. Anyway, be that as it may.
Well, it's just something with £500,000 rather.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't. He did not to us, but it's all very well saying it after the fact. Dear me. So what did Rav Nachman said? Hadri kipi lemaraihu. Return the earrings to their owner. So the owner claims the earrings back. And he says to the guard, you get your house back, I get my earrings back, and that's that.
Has it got anything to do with a distinguishing mark or anything to do?
No. They're just there were 2 sets of these earrings in the world. One got fell down a well. We can't get them back. So now these unique pair of earrings now. And they used to be able to Genghis Khan. They're worth an absolute fortune. Okay.
So the conclusion is here.
We're not done. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Hadra kipi lemaraihu, let the earrings return to the owner. Hadra apanda lemarai, and let the mansion return to its owner. Just a second. Here we are. Right. So we're not yet quite sure why this is. Let's look on a bit further. Amar Rava said, "Have you seen a comment of Nachman?" Sometime after, I was sitting learning from Rav Nachman. Upirkin hamafkid hava. We were learning hamafkid. This very chapter was called hamafkid. The Omrile, and I said to him, "Shilim v'lo rotza lishava." Isn't this a case like with the guard, where the guard says, "I'd rather not make an oath. I'd rather pay." And then we say the guard is deemed to have bought the thing that he was looking after. So let's just think this through. I look after you. You 3 deposit your sheep with me. You own a sheep 3 ways. You give it to me to look after. The sheep goes missing. And I say, don't know what happened, but I'm not going to make an oath. I think it was struck by lightning. These things happen, but I don't want to make an oath. I'd rather actually just pay the money. So I pay you the money, 100 quid, £33, 33 each, and then the sheep turns up. What we say is that because I paid you that money, and I was a good guy, I was nice to you, I didn't make a fuss, that means that you gift me the sheep in retrospect. You say to me, let's look again at that moment when you gave me the sheep to look after. So now we're going to say that wasn't giving me the sheep to look after, that was selling me the sheep. I'm going to recast that original moment last week when I gave you the sheep. Then I thought I was giving you to look after. Now I say, no, 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 that wasn't to look after. That was a sale. When you pay me the money today, without making a fussy basting, because you're a decent chap, that was the money for the sale. The sheep is now mine. So Rava says to Rav Nachman, isn't this the same? The guard paid his house over to the owner, and he was left with the lost earrings, wherever they may be. And surely the owner will say to the guard, now that you've paid me, in retrospect, I now look back at that moment last week when I gave you the earrings, and I say, that wasn't giving them to you to look after, although that's what we thought at the time. Actually, that was me selling you the earrings for your house. So Rava says to Rav Nachman, isn't that our case here?
It's not safe, though. This is not a safe deal, because if I had them and I thought, okay, I've seen the price move here.
Yeah.
There's a little scam I can pull here.
Yeah.
I know that the price has moved. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him I haven't got them. And I've lost the diamonds. Okay,
Yeah.
therefore he's going to say
Yeah.
to me, oh well, what have you got? You can have the house. I
Right.
keep the diamonds. Now
Right.
I know because I've checked them out.
You're talking about Rav Huna, and you're absolutely within your right to say that if we suspect that, Rav Huna will be right up your street, and he would say, we'll have to make the guard make a shavua, an oath, that he doesn't have the earrings. You're quite right.
And they didn't know the value.
Well, maybe he's a jeweler, maybe he's an expert in such matters. Just can't remember where he put
Well,
them.
what if he makes that oath?
Yeah.
He just happens to turn up. He has got no knowledge where they are, whatever, and now all of a sudden
Well,
turned up.
you still allayed Colin's suspicions, because Colin's saying, with good reason, I may add, that the guard may be doing this deceitfully because he thinks the price of earrings is going to shoot up.
But what do you make of Shavua?
No, he wouldn't.
No,
So
what if he did make it?
if he did, well, then we have to believe him. We had to believe
No,
him.
and then they turn up.
So then he'll say, well, they were lost, and now they turned up. What am I
So we
supposed
have
to
to
do?
believe.
Yeah. But what we're trying to do is allay Colin and Rav Huna's suspicions that the guy's lying, and we'll do that with the Shavua. If they're genuinely lost, there's nothing we can do. If they're lost, they're lost. But Colin thinks that he knows all the while they're in that pillow
Well,
case.
Michael said before, like, if you find like they were worth 500,000 and the next day they've gone up to 1 million,
Yeah.
you say, right. Well, what if Michael said before that if you valued they're worth 250,000? What claim has that guy got now saying I'm 250,000
You
out
have
of
to
pocket?
give him more than one house. You have to give him his car as well.
If he says that I've got them,
That's
they've
the-
turned up, and I'm not at this loss.
I don't want to talk about this yet,
Okay,
but part that one with the car. Right?
okay.
I'll buy my cars worth a quarter of a million.
Ferrari Dino.
Oh, now you're talking. Yeah, a Lambo Spider. Okay. So, this is what Rava said to Rav Nachman. He said, isn't this like the case of we had right at the start of this chapter, where when the guard chooses to pay the money, we say that it's like he bought the thing and it's his. In which case, says Rava, like you're saying, once the guard has given over, done the decent thing, given over his house, the earrings are lost. It doesn't know where they are, but it's like he's bought the earrings with the house. He spent his house to buy the earrings. In which case, if things go up in value, it's the guardian's good muzzle. So why does Rav Nachman say, no, reverse it. The earrings go back to the owner. The house goes back to the guard. What do you mean, says Rava? Surely, like we said all along, it's like a sale. When the guard recompenses, he compensates the owner by giving his house, it's like he's bought the earrings with the house. That was Rava question of Nachman. You with me?
Yeah, yes, but again, for me, my little sayings about, have a contract and blah, blah, blah. One of my business sayings is always, when I look at a deal, do the right thing, and then the right.
Ah,
And the right thing
yep,
will follow.
yep, yep,
And it
yep,
will
yep,
follow.
yep, yep.
So,
Just please stop there.
It's quoted. You'll see me quoted.
Please stop there. Very good. Hold your
You
horses.
can go now.
No, 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 don't you dare go. But nice one. Very good, very good. Okay, it's okay.
In my business.
Yeah, yeah. Coming soon, coming soon. Okay. So, what did Rav Nachman answer Rava? This blind Rava question, where Rava said, "This is the classic case of the sheep that's gone missing, and the guard chooses to pay." And there we said the guard owns the sheep in retrospect. So here also, the guard should own the earrings in retrospect. Rav Nachman said not a word. Not because he was flummoxed, because the question was so poor, it didn't even deserve an answer.
How can you keep quiet? I mean, you hear something's wrong, you say.
No. He said he was thinking. I know he'll work this out in his head.
Okay.
He's no fool. Rava's no fool. He'll get it. He'll get it. And just thus it was. So we're now 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go 4 wide lines down towards the end of the line. Omar Rava said, "Have I seen a coming to Rav Nachman?" Just going to the 5th wide line now. I was seeing for Rav Nachman. Picking the Mafkav. It was the chapter of Mafkav for Omri lane, and I said to him, "This is the case of when the guard paid and didn't want to make enough that we have with the sheep. So surely, just like when he gave over the sheep, so when he gave over the money, it was like he bought the sheep. So here also, when he's given over the house, it should be like he's bought the earrings. So he should get the profit of the earrings. These belong to him. If they go up in value, that's his good fortune."
What was it like when the base did appears that I don't want to make a shavua, I'll pay the value.
It's
Oh, they say he's a real.
they reserve judgment. They don't give a view. It says in Pirkei
Don't
Avos.
we feel that if he's willing to say, look, whatever it is you've lost, I am guilty.
No, because he could be doing a calling. It could be lying through his teeth. He could be playing the tzaddik and
So
really
that he can make a profit.
exactly. So we don't know. So in Pirkei Avos it says when the litigants are before you, treat them both as wicked, and when they leave you, treat them both as righteous because they accepted the rule. They accepted the ruling. So now they're both Rishon, the pair of them. That's how I see them. Since you ask. Ah dear.
I still took to the bar with that.
You're behind the jukebox there, yeah. Okay. The Omri, and I said to him, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide lines down in the middle. Omri, and I said to him, Shina v'lo Rosh. This is the case of he paid and didn't want to make an oath. V'lo ahadali, and he didn't answer me. Now into the 6th wide line. Now the shapi omed the lo ahadali. Rava continues. He did the right thing by not answering me, because my question was wrong. My tama, what's the reason? Hassam, and I tricked him, I'm afraid, a little bit, because I sort of took it along quickly. But now you'll see. Lo atchechei leveidina. Why, in the case of the guard with the sheep that we talked about ages ago, why exactly does the owner gift the sheep to the guard? And he says, you know what, when I gave you the sheep to look after, let's pretend that was like I was giving it to you to keep, and let's pretend that the money you give me now is like a sale. So if it turns out the sheep is stolen and there's double payment, I'm giving it to you.
But we didn't say that. We said it because it was a decent thing to do.
Why does the owner want to do the decent thing? Why is there instead of being so magnanimous? He could say, no, I want my sheep. I want it back. Why is he suddenly gifting the sheep to the guard in retrospect? What's the guard done for him?
He doesn't need Borges. He wants it to be very straightforward. This is it.
Bit more than that. You're close, but I want more. And we're going to come to that in the end, but we're not there yet. Okay, so cast your mind back, and you'll remember this. It's because the guard helped the owner. What did the guard say? The guard said, I could make an oath, and I could walk away, but I'm going to do the decent thing. I'm going to pay you the money. And the owner, I was worried about the money.
If you're such a good man and the gallop is found, you'll get double.
Exactly. It's like a tip.
Yeah.
All right. Because you're a decent guy. You remember I said you're a diamond guy? All along, you could have just stood your ground and made an oath, and I'd have been left high and dry. I'd have lost my sheep, and I'd have no recourse to you because you made an oath. I'm finished. What will I do? But instead, you stepped up to the plate. You paid the money. You didn't want to make the oath. You put your money where your mouth is. I respect that. Therefore, if it turns out the sheep is found, you're a diamond guy. You get the double payment from the thief. How about that? Brilliant. Now, think about our case where the idiot guard lost the earrings. What happened? He took him to Beis Din. Rav Nachman said, you got to pay. What did he do? No, before that. He didn't pay. He said, no, I'm not paying. So he had to go to Rav Nachman again. Rav Nachman distrained his home. Has the guard done the owner any favors?
Has the guard done any favors to the owner? No.
He's been an absolute nightmare. He's been a guard from hell. He's been begrudging. He's been dishonest.
As my grandma would have said, he's been immature. I think my grandma would have said.
Wow, crazy. Yeah.
Why don't tomorrow follow his friend?
Well, he was a friend at the beginning. Things
Because
changed.
the implication of that is something very, very specific. If you're going to lend something worth $500,000,
Or consign it to be looked after.
yes,
Absolutely. He was his friend, but then things went south pretty quickly. This friendship is now on the rocks. You're right.
No.
Yeah. So he did him the guard did the owner no favors. He was awful to deal with, and the guy, the owner had to take him to Beis Din twice, and then get his home distrained, and go through all that bother of selling the place. The guard could have said, "I'm terribly sorry, I lost it. Let me pay you, or let me borrow the money and pay you back, and I'll work off the loan over time." No, he says, "I'm not paying." So take it to Beis Din. Ram still not paying. Take it to Beis Din again. Sell his house. Go through all of the legal process to do that. Draw up a contract. Get the money. Get a buyer. All this stuff. Get a valuer. The whole thing. Puts him through all that. The owner feels not at all kindly disposed towards this guard. He's been dreadful. What? I'm gonna gift him the earrings in retrospect. You've got to be joking. Forget that. I'm gonna do him over for every penny I can. And therefore, says the owner, when I take the house instead of the earrings, am I gifting him the earrings? You bet I'm not. I am absolutely not gifting him the earrings. I want my earrings back. And if I take the house, it's only because I've got nothing else to take. But really, the earrings are mine. And I'll repay the refund of the house because I don't really want the house. I want my earrings. Am I giving it to him? Absolutely not. What's he done for me? He's called me such grief. He's dragged me to the court twice. He's been elusive. He's been dishonest. Forget that. No, I'm not.
He did go and figure out the diamonds are worth that.
Yeah, he's clever,
That's
but he's a horrible guy.
horrible.
I mean, he's prepared to make the guy lose $500,000.
Yeah.
That's not a nice guy.
No, he's mature. I think I'd be definitely my grandfather. Use the pick up if I use them.
Then if you look in historical things, in the way it really did happen, then with the diamond bourse, when it was run by somebody in
Yeah.
Marcel Bruch, you just shook hands. There was nothing legal. It was done because otherwise it didn't work.
Right.
So they have to be honest. And
Yeah.
if they would not
Not
have
done like that.
yeah. Certainly.
Guys like this threaten the entire system. You're
Well, I
right.
agree.
You're right.
Said
Yeah.
Muslim brother, but
Yeah.
surely you would have had to have witnesses to that Muslim.
As far as I know,
If you
just-
shake and say
it's just
Muslim
the date.
brother,
You don't have to have witnesses to
No,
make it
no.
valid. And in fact, the halacha talks about tekiyas kof, a
Yeah.
handshake, as an act of acquisition.
Yeah.
It's become that.
well, it's
That-
like under the hooker, isn't it?
Go on.
When we give the
A handkerchief.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a symbolic action of yes, it is. Yeah, well, that's based on Rus. This
Right.
is something that's just become a normal thing. But that's fine. We're allowed to invent new ways of acquiring things if the rabbis agree to it. And the rabbis agree to this, yeah. And I remember when we bought our car, and we bought it from a guy on it was dog and duck style stuff. It wasn't a showroom. It was just some guy on Gumtree. And it was a very nice guy actually. And I remember we drove this car around, and it was all fine. And we sat in the front. I sat in front of the car with him, and I said, "Right, I'll buy it." And he says, "It's this and this much." And I said, "Great, that's fine." And I said, "We'll shake on it." And we shook. And I thought of this. We shook hands, and that meant we were both committed. So it really does happen.
You know, that with conveyancing often.
Is that so?
Oh, yes. Because sometimes you find other people trying to gazump.
Oh, yes.
And if the person has agreed with you, I've had that with non-Jewish people, were very nice,
Mm.
that's it. If somebody else came with the higher offer, they would.
You do shaking hands.
Yeah.
Right, there you go.
Rabbi,
Yes, yeah.
in the Rabbi in the stock exchange, there's a phrase, "My word is
I
my
would
bond,"
bond. That's right.
which is very similar.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Not
Yeah.
the bond,
Yeah, absolutely. This is what this was made of. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down in the middle, 6 wide lines down the middle. My time, why did Rav Nachman not bother answering Rava? Hasam there, loy atchechele vidina. In the first case in our chapter, the guard, the shomer, did not make the owner go to Beit Din. He said, "I'll pay the money up front. I don't want to make an oath. That's fine." Hacha here, atchechele vidina. He's absolutely made him go to Beit Din twice. So the owner feels in no way favorably disposed to this guard, and if earrings turn up, he wants them back. So
Even if it's reduced in value by 50%.
I'm still not doing that. So the Gemara said, "Oh, lememra." This is to say, surely, the Sar Rav Nachman, that Rav Nachman holds the Shuma Hada, that a Beis Din's valuation of something can be returned. A second. Yeah, just a second. Just make sure I get this straight in my head. So that's it. Got it. So this means, therefore, says the Gemara, that Rav Nachman holds that if the Beis Din estimate the value of something to repay a loan, that's when the bailiffs come, and they say, "Oh, I reckon that writing desk is worth 50 quid, and the loan's 50 quid, so we'll just take the writing desk and flog it off or whatever." This means, therefore, that if the person is later able to find the money to pay back his creditor, he gets the bailiff's the thing distributed by the bailiffs, he can get it back. So if I borrow 50 quid and I can't pay back, and the bailiffs take my writing desk, then I make 50 quid on Lucky Lad in the 230, and I go to the creditor and say, "Look, I got my 50 quid. Can I have the writing desk now, please?" So according to Rav Nachman, it seems I can demand it back. I can force the lender to give me the thing back, because here we see that when the earrings turned up, Rav Nachman said, "Let's reverse the sale of the house or the gift of the house, so that we are as we should be." So here also, if I give my writing desk for sale, so if I give my writing desk to pay back a loan, then if I get the money, I can pay the writing desk back again. It's reversible, like Rav Nachman says here. So Rav Nachman is teaching us, surely, says the Gemara, that if I've given over an article for repayment and then I get money, I can give the money and claim back the thing that was due as repayment. That's what the Gemara asks for Rav Nachman. And the Gemara says, "No, you're wrong. Shani Hassan is different there. The Shuma Batos Hava to have a keeping made Korah." The reason why Rav Nachman allows a reversal here, is because the handover of the house was a mistake altogether. It was all wrong, because really the earrings were in that pillowcase the entire time. But that doesn't mean that in a regular case where the borrower just skimped, that if he gives over his writing desk, that doesn't mean that necessarily Rav Nachman would agree that it can be swapped back. So this is our case is a special case, and you can't derive from it this rule about regular repayment of loans with a thing.
We found in other case, Constan's earrings were sleeping.
It is the same thing as doing the right thing. you know.
Yeah,
and my saying in business is that, is do the right thing, don't do something just for money, do the right thing, the money will follow.
Everybody is upright,
But the money
like
will
you,
follow.
Colin.
But it's true, but the money will follow. Do the right thing and the money will follow.
So the very next thing the Gemara says is what like what you say. Amina Hadai, and Hadai, the people from Nadar said, Shuma Hada Atresa Yachishata. A Shuma, when you've had an item valued for repayment of a loan, then the borrower, if he can raise the money, can claim the thing back for 12 months. Amema says, I'm not min Hadar, no, I'm from Nadar, and I think Shuma Hada La'olam, that the borrower can always raise the money and claim back the thing that was taken from him by the bailiffs. The hilchasa on the halacha is Shuma Hada La'olam. You can always claim back the thing when you raise the money. Why? Because it says in the Torah, do that which is right and good. Exactly as you say. And that becomes a halacha.
But it's got to be on both sides that people want to do what's right.
Well, in this case, it's the lender who's taken the thing, and we impose the right and good thing on him because that's the level of
Well, what if the lender likes the item?
tough. No.
And he's saying,
No, I don't care.
sorry?
When you say they both got to do the right thing, how many people have we all come across? But you do the right thing, and you say, you know what? If he doesn't want to do the right thing, that's his problem.
Yeah,
I'm doing the
I
right
don't
thing.
think. Yeah,
That's what I mean by that.
yeah.
How many people do come across?
Yeah. But here it becomes a halacha. It says vehilchasa, shuma hadan oinam, that you can always claim back the thing that was taken from you to repay the loan. Because the rabbis use this principle, doing that which is right and good, to create a halacha. And if the lender doesn't like it, it's tough to do the decent thing against his will. Tough.
I'm going to say that the line that you frequently is from the Bible. So I'm going to say, do the right thing.
Yeah.
The right thing.
Yeah,
will
it's
the Bible.
to volume chapter 7. There you go. Yeah. There you go. All right. Right. There we go. Thank you, everybody. It's occurred. There we go.
And thank you for dedicating to Jade Safa.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the someone should have an earlier.